is veal cutlets. I like seasoning it with a lot of garlic, white pepper, salt, and summer savory. The flavors go excellent together. Now, we had liver over pasta, and I have leftover pasta. I have linguine and spaghetti, so I'm mixing those pastas up. There's nothing on them. But I'm going to mix them with black truffle cream. Now, just listen to what's in this. This is really interesting. It has champagne, mushrooms, olive oil. It has brandy, anchovy paste, salt, cloves, breadcrumbs, water, salt, garlic, cornstarch, which I know it is. It has white pepper and natural flavorings. And it may contain traces of soy because wherever they get it from, the company probably also grinds up soy. But so anyway, it's from the Bruno's Brothers. I like truffles. Truffles are a mushroom. They have a very unique smell. So I figured I'm going to use this for the pasta. And it should have a lovely flavor to go with the veal cutlets, which I love. And I've got turnip greens to go as well. I've already got them cleaned and chopped and to the side. Now I have approximately 2, 4, 6, 8 cloves of garlic. Like I said, I like garlic with this. And I'm going to be using my discard, but if you don't, I would recommend, if you don't have a discard, go ahead and use egg. As your wash that you'll dip them in, because you'll have to. The flour that I'm using is a lot of leftover flour that I collect, and then I'm going to sit there and sift it, and I'll be using that. So I couldn't tell you what flour to use, but whichever flour you're comfortable with, by all means, please use it. This is what we're having today. I think the snow is all over for another week. That means I'll have to go buy some more salt for it, or order it on Amazon and have it delivered. So you mince your garlic up very, very nicely, because it's going to have to stick to the veal. Oh, somebody came on and left. Okay, that's all right. What am I having for breakfast? It's right here, like I told you. Apple cider vinegar and water. I'm trying to get over this coat. It's finally breaking. So it'll keep me. Good morning. So it'll keep me going. The reason I'm mincing this so fine is so I'll get the flavor and it'll stick to the cutlets. Now, something people don't know about veal cutlets. We're having veal cutlets. This is garlic. In Europe, all right, might as well tell you, veal cutlets, turnip greens, and I'm going to use a black truffle cream to go over some pasta that's left over because I don't want to waste it. Oh, Rocky, oh, that sounds good. When you buy veal cutlets in Europe, they go on what I call a bias, which is a 45, because you have the muscles and stuff growing in a certain direction, right? Well, America doesn't want to have a lot of waste, so they cut it this way, right across. Whereas in Europe, to get the more tender cut, because it is more tender in Europe, they go across what we call a bias, which is a 45 degree angle, which makes it easier to cut and more tender. Not many meats, but there are some meats I do have to tenderize. Veal cutlet, believe you me, you do not want to do that. No, I haven't been out to restaurants in years, okay? My girlfriend took me to one. We went to Applebee's because she wanted a salad. We got hungry at the Staten Island Mall. We went there, and I wasn't overly happy. Sweden, hi. Hi, Sweden. I wasn't too happy. The waitress was a gem. I'm not going to lie. She was really very, very nice. How much am I going to put in here? I'll let you see. And good morning to all of you. Okay. I use white pepper with this. Black pepper's a little strong. Your cutlets have a beautiful flavor, so you don't want to destroy them. But if you want them hot, green peppercorns would be nice. And if you want it to burn your throat, the red ones will do an excellent job. Veal cutlets, turnip greens, and pasta. And with the pasta, we're going to put a black truffle cream over it. And I think it'll all go very nicely together. Why can't they just sell whole peppercorns instead of putting in this grinder? From shoveling to doing this, my arms are talking. I know you can't hear them, but I'm feeling them. Yeah, it's from the Bruno Brothers. I read the ingredients. It really sounds good. I learned from the first person I learned from was my mother. Like I said, I was crawling when she taught me. My first job in the kitchen was there. Then I learned from Julia Child. Then I learned from James Beard. Then I learned from Adele Davis on nutrition, started. Then I went to the ARE and I learned more balancing diets and stuff. And then after that, since my husband had so many friends from all over the place, from different parts of the world, I learned a lot of different things from different people. Oh, Louisiana's really I have a Louisiana cookbook. When I do it, I have to make a whole bunch of seasonings together. Okay. So that's where I learned. But also remember that I had a grandmother I learned from. I learned from Nanu as well. And so I learned from a lot of people. I learned, oh God, I could just start naming everybody. Paul Mathis, who was our chiropractor, he cooked because his wife was dead, like Nanu lost his wife. And the ladies around the neighborhood, I learned at school too, but I knew already everything she was teaching. I already had that. I just found that recipe. Believe you me, I want to try the stuffed mushrooms. I already saw a recipe. I've never found one that I like, so I wasn't going to do it, but now I found one and I said, God, I really got to make this mushroom. Because it just sounds too good. But I have eaten dishes I can't even pronounce the names for. I remember my husband took me to a restaurant and we ate in the window that we actually sat in a table that was sitting in the window. And I had some Middle Eastern food. I don't even know what it was, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. I love falafels. Oh God, I love those. No, I have never gone foraging for mushrooms, though I did have a boyfriend after my husband died, and he was learning how to forage, but he died and didn't finish. I was a young lady. And then my mother said if I didn't listen to him, I was going to get hit. So that's why I listened. Okay, now I'm using a discard here. Well, when you're taught, you know, you don't have to worry. The reason I use my discard, like I told you, it sticks like glue. That's why I like it so much. I need a little more of this. That's why I said if you don't have a discard, by all means, please use an egg. Okay, I mean, you need somebody to teach you. I know there's poisonous mushrooms out there, and I know that they're edible mushrooms. One that my boyfriend, a food that he introduced was fennel, a fern. Not fennel, it was a fern. I don't know where he got it from, but he said they're good. And he brought me a package of them. They were frozen. We enjoyed them. They were nice, very, very nice. And they grow wild. And he was from Maine. So he said they eat them up there. And I said, I never heard of these, you know, if I haven't heard of something. Learn cooking. Thank you for trying to teach me. It's hard for me. Thankfully, I have fast food to keep me going until I learn to cook. Oh, the wall socket. Okay. I give a lot of easy recipes, but I also give some more complicated. I also explain why I'm doing things so you have an understanding in the kitchen. So you have to be careful. It's mostly learning the terminologies and stuff. No, infusion, I am not from Long Island. And good morning, Flirtless? Okay. Whatever, well, good morning to all of you. All right, so I have this mixed. But remember, I'm using my discard. You use an egg if you don't have a discard. And here are my cutlets. I love these things. These are a sin to have. But anyway, if you ever go to Europe and you ask for veal cutlets, you'll actually taste and see the texture is so much different than what we have here. It is different. And my butcher always gets me some of the nicest cutlets. I can never complain. Here's one. See, a cutlet, they are like super thin. And here's two. 3. I have 6. That'll be 2 for each of us. And believe you me, there will be no leftovers from this. So this is another dish that I love very much. But it's not a standing beef rib roast. It's filet mignon. It's veal cutlet. Like my mother said, what'd you do? Come into this earth with an expensive taste? We're having veal cutlets, turnip greens, and we're having pasta with a truffle cream, black truffle cream. And I think I want to also serve with this dish pickled fennel. I don't know if any of you have done that. I did it. Fiddlehead is the fern. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chronic. Yeah, that's what he sent me a whole nice bag, and we ate it. Favorite dish from my mother. My mother made it a wicked peach cobbler. Oh, very wicked. And Danny, she made a 9x13 for Danny. He didn't share it with his brothers or anything. My mother gave it to him. That was after he had been shot and almost died because he and his friend were playing with a loaded gun. They thought it was unloaded at the time. Nothing but a severe accident. So we always get my butter frozen. Okay, rack time. Okay, now I've got to take care of this flour. Where do I want to do it? All right, I have to think a minute. Give me a minute to think. This is flour I collect, and we have to sit there and sift it because it gets particles in it. It might have seasonings in it. I do not know. I don't remember. I've never had biscuits and gravy together. That's a southern dish. One of the best biscuit recipes I've had is, I can't believe this, sourdough cultured biscuits. They rise overnight. I love that. You just sit there, brush and put it. They are fantastic. My whole family said, you got to do that again. You should, Leaf. You should learn to cook. This is survival. Cooking is survival. It is a skill, be you man or woman, you should. But like I said, a lot of people young people are vacillated because they're not taught. See, these are the particles that get collected into the flour. So I just knock them out and add more flour. Now that's not going to be enough flour for what I have to do. So, by the way, I am going to add whole wheat. I wake up early. Don't you know about country people? They're early. They're always early. They start their day early, and they end their day early. You cannot get work done unless you get up early. Now the reason we have the rack here is we are going to dip the veal cutlets into the batter and, well, into my discard and then flour them, and we're going to let them dry a bit so they will fry up really, really nice. You can see how thick it is. Yeah, it's really thick. Yes, it is. See, when you use white flour and water and stuff, you don't have to use a lot of seasonings. But when you use stocks and stuff, you have more flavor. And you'll say, well, I can't taste the seasonings, so you add more seasonings. But that's what people, that's why they use a lot of white. They think that you're poor if you use whole wheat. Women will tell you, I don't like it. They don't like the taste of it. That's because they don't want to work with it. They can't work with it, so they'll tell you they don't like it. And they'll take a shortcut. When you take shortcuts, your health goes down the door. So think about it. When I eat at a restaurant, they use so many canned goods and stuff. I got sick all the time, and I just said, I don't want to be sick anymore. That's just it. I'll just do it myself. So as you can see, this stuff sticks like glue. It just doesn't come off. You're very welcome, Total. Carmen, can you please, I don't know what ROSB means. Good morning. We are having veal cutlets this morning, and I have to finish my vinegar and water. And when do I stop taking that? When I get sick of it. Then I know I've had enough. Complicated? I don't know. I've grown through the years doing it, so it's very hard to say that. Thank you very much, Albert. Okay. Complicated dish? I haven't finished making all the dishes in the world, so I really don't know. I've moved forward in all of them. Every time I move forward, I'll try something a little harder, but I've never gotten to one that has beaten the crap out of me yet. If it does, you will not see it. Okay? Because I'll probably end up taking, going to the trash and throwing everything out. You know? Now, my mother has done that. She has taken dishes, and my father made fun of the dish. And my mother definitely threw it out. And we had Whataburgers. It was really called What a Burger, but we always called it Whataburger, where I came from. And so my father learned to shut his mouth when it came to food, because my mother would definitely do that. And as you can see, the garlic and stuff, you mince it. And if you have something thick that can hold it, like a discard, works very well. If you want to know what the discard is, that's when I get too much of my sourdough culture. I throw it into another jar and I don't feed it, and then I use it for biscuits or whatever I have that needs to be, you know, drenched and coated. Now, the person who wishes to learn to fry chicken, I did buy a chicken this week, and I hope to be frying it. And I hope you'll be on when we do that, and you can see how I do it. Because like you, I had that problem. The chicken was either not cooked all the way, and it was very frustrating, or I burnt it. So I learned a different way of doing it so I could get it done, because I like to crack the bones and get to the bone marrow. Now, some people say, why? The bone marrow is where your folic acid is, which is your B vitamins. So if they don't sit there and cook it through the bones like that, you end up not getting it. And it's not really in your food because the government told them to take it out. And folic acid is a natural antibiotic that we have. How she got that much cakes? You mean how I get the flour to stick like that? That's my discard. That's why I love it. Joer, yeah. I have fun in the kitchen when I get in there. I've spent a lot of time in the kitchen. Well, I shouldn't say just in the kitchen. I was sewing when I was a little girl. I was doing a lot of things. My mother was preparing me for being a woman, a real woman. That's a good idea, but have you ever read what corn flakes are made up of? Check it out. Okay. So people my age, if their mothers were not working, because that's when they started getting divorces because of Jane Fonda. So I don't think Jane Fonda could cook. My personal opinion, that's why she went into the civil rights, because she wanted, I think she got stuck in the kitchen and she couldn't cook. What do I need here? I need a spoon, Sandra. Okay. We're going to put some oil and butter in a frying pan. Now, where did I get this idea from? France. They really had an idea when they mixed oils and butter together. You can use any oil. You can use corn oil, safflower oil, any oil you want. And sometimes you can mix your oils up and come into some very lovely flavors. Sandra, just leave it out. You'll probably have to do this again. And we'll get some butter here. And then these have sat long enough. If you take a look, you can see that here, I have to dip them a second time. You see how the fluid's holding on to it? We have to dip it a second time. Now, we're going to add some butter in here. And I don't have room for a cutting board. Let's see if I can do it over here. Okay. I'm putting about this much butter in, almost half a stick, with about 3 tablespoons of oil. And the oil I used is my alblend that I showed you. I told you how I make it. I also did a video way up at the beginning showing you how to make your own oil as well, to make one that has all your acids in it that your cells need to protect yourself. It's just like if you go to make a cherry turnip greens with veal cutlets, and we're going to take leftover pasta and we're going to put black truffle cream, mix it up. And I'm also, oh, Pink, you're from England. Good morning. No, it's not good morning for you there. I think it's good afternoon. Thank you for the flower. It's beautiful. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to serve pickled fern as well. I think that would be nice. I can't believe how dirty I get when I start cooking. I barely get here. Well, that's all right. I'm always going to be a mess in the kitchen. It does. It sounds really good. I'm hoping it does. All right. So we have to re-dip these cutlets. Well, I should say reflour them, because as you can see, it's absorbing that flour and you want it more coated. So while that butter is and oil are heating up, we'll go ahead and re-dip these in the flour and let them dry some more. Yeah, I found out if I do the flour twice and give it about 5 minutes between each one, it's much better. When it fries up, you have a nice crust. Yeah, it gets like that. No. I start out the day, you know, when I wake up, I sit there and I come downstairs, I'll have something to eat or something. I'm nice and neat. And as soon as I start cooking, I said, oh God, there, I'm getting dirty already again. Okay, I know, I see what you're doing. Okay, I gotta put this here because I know you want to see it over here. I am cooking, and good morning to the people who are coming in late. Good morning, and I hope you all have a great day today. I am cooking, Alex. Guys, anybody ever canned fennel? I've never had it. I've pickled it. I don't know how it's going to come out, but it looked interesting, so I said, why not? I know, I'm coming. Give me a minute. I'm talking to the oil, not you guys. You guys are doing fine. Okay. I'm also charging you at the same time, so I have all the wires back here too. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to fall. Okay, I need my spoon. Okay, now we'll turn it back up. Now I'm noticing that our butter has water in it. If they did it properly, it would not splatter like that. Just letting you know. That's pretty much it. And you don't have to cook your veal till it's tough. I've seen people leave it 5 minutes in the pan. I mean, they really, really cook it. The veal is very, very tender, so you have to be very careful how you cook it. And you see it has a nice crust on it. That's why I dip it twice in the flour. And I don't leave it long because I know this cooks quickly. So when you do veal cutlets, remember you don't have to cook it minutes. Sometimes you're just talking seconds. That's the mistake people make with liver, and that's the mistake they make with some of these tender cuts because they're not taught. Isn't that nice? It takes a little bit of extra work, just a little. It doesn't kill anybody to do it. I might have to add more oil and butter to this because this meat does not have any fat in it. Yeah, we're just about getting ready to add more butter and more oil to this. We don't have enough. But you can see how fast these cook. And then I'm going to get a frying pan, and we're going to take care of the truffles, and I'm going to get a saucepan, and we'll take care of the turnip greens, and then I'll be able to pack lunches. Yeah, I pack lunches. That's what I do for getting things done. So I've listened to a lot of people in my life learning how to cook. I learned West Indian cooking, not all of it, but I do know some of it. The hot peppers I always have problems with. You can see how nice it is. We're gonna have to add some more butter because I can see right here, and I don't want it to burn. This is veal cutlets. That's my all blend oil that I make. Everybody has a grandmother. The thing is that she might have died before your time, you know, or when you were very, very little. And you can see they're coming out very, very nice. You can't complain. They really do look nice. I am making veal cutlets. No, there's no gravy with this. We're going to use a truffle sauce over the pasta. Now, if your pan isn't hot enough, or you don't have the oil deep enough, when you do cube steaks or veal cutlets, or chicken cutlets, or pork cutlets, they will stick. This is why I drench mine the way I do, and I make sure that this is hot. If you have to, move them around as they cook, so you don't sit there and have the coating come off of them. So as you can see, they do cook very, very fast. And you can see the discard really holds the garlic and stuff on. Very, very nice. Well, the fork, my tongs messed it up a bit there, but they're crunchy. Very nice. No, I lost my daughter. Christian, you can't tell somebody if they eat pork, they can eat pork. There are people who eat raw meat. I mean, raw fish. You know, you can't tell somebody. They're going to do what they want to do. So you really can't state that. Is the pork, I'm not going to eat pork unless it's cooked. And I learned that from Julia Child. You cook the pork. You really cook it. It might be a little overdone. I'd rather have it overdone than underdone. But people will eat what they are going to, and they're going to do what they want. I mean, I'm cooking this way, showing them, but some people say, yeah, it sounds good, it looks good, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it my way. That's fine. You can do it your way. But I am showing people a different way of cooking to show them. So, if you like it or not, that's what I do. I try to show you that you can make food more nutritious if you like it or not. And, you know, if you don't like it, you can leave. Nobody's going to hold you here and twist your arm and say you have to. But if you don't like sick children and everything else. But what gets me is society has set it up that you're going to be old, you're going to be sick, you're going to be on medicine. And I'm saying, no, you don't have to. I am from America. And I will show you what they look like when we're done, and then we'll move to the other parts that we have to do. So for you people that say I am beautiful for my age and stuff, what you're looking at is health. A whole lifetime of cooking a certain way to make sure that my body stays healthy. And this is the last one, and then we'll get moving forward. We'll get the collard greens done, and no, turnip greens, and we'll get that pasta going, and then everything will be done. I am not Jewish, I am Italian. New York State. It is. Hi, California. Now, if you don't like cooking desserts, instead of buying desserts, you can sit there and use fresh fruit as a dessert with cheese. And there's a lot of different cheeses, and you don't have to cook. Yes, I'm on the East Coast. I don't need your $20 to do that, and I'm not going to do it. You're just being rude. You probably can't get a woman, and that's your problem. So you figured you can go this way, and nobody has to know who you are, and you can do it. All right, here they are. We got this done. I'll turn you down. This. Thank you very much, Panka. See? Here they are. Very nicely done. Easy to do. Not that difficult. Okay. Now, I have to get the other stuff together. You have to give me a minute, and I'll just keep you turned over here because we're going to be working over here. Why did I turn that burner off? Because you're going to light it again, Sandra. Yeah, I am, aren't I? I'll turn it down next time. Should have left it on because that's the burner I'm using because you can see better. Do 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 do. Now here are my turnip greens. I've already cut them, cleaned them. Okay, how Sandy, you put it up, didn't you? I did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I know. Now, I'm heating this pan up, the saucepan. Saucepans have long handles for those of you who don't know how to cook. These are what you call saucepans. I got to pull you back at this point just a bit. You're sitting in the flour. Thank you. Gee, every time I go to say thank you, it goes, thank you. All right, thank you for the hearts and the flowers and all. I can't read it. It moves too fast. You're going to get this pan hot. Now, all what you're going to put in is like a teaspoon of oil. That's it. Okay? A lot of people don't even know how to cook vegetables. They sit there and drown them in water and a ton of grease. You don't need a ton of grease. You just need a little bit of oil or butter. You have a choice. You're going to heat this up. You know, I'm just going to use the same spoon. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to use this. All right. Now, these have already been cleaned and all. And you're going to turn this flame up. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to coat these, and they're going to get a lovely green on them. And then what we're going to do, well, that's as far as I got. I'm sorry, I can't go any further. I did get that. What we're going to do is we are going to coat them with this little bit of oil. And believe it or not, they're going to get a rich green. This is how you get the color green that you want. You have to wait for the pot just a bit. Yes, it can get greener by adding a little bit of oil, and then you're going to sit there and coat it. You can use bacon. That's another thing that my husband taught us. A couple pieces of bacon. You can dice them and put them in a pan and cook them, and then the fat from the bacon, you can also toss your greens in before you do anything, and it'll give it a nice color. Bacon if you want. You can use salt pork, or you can use a little bit of oil. I don't use that much oil. My husband would use more. And you stir it around and you let that oil coat it. This is for dinner. I'm fixing dinner because I have to sit there and pack it up for my family. That oil that you add in, if you want to add a little more than a teaspoon or use bacon or something, you can. But what it does is it gives it that nice green look. So then when you add a little bit of water to it, it sits there and it gives it, you don't have to soak everything. Thank you for the flour. You don't have to soak it with a ton of water to cook it. So you stir it and it cooks down. It's actually cooking down. You can see it's getting lower than it was before. All right. See, it's turning a darker green. That's what you want. And then we're going to add a little bit of water to this. What you're going to give it is about 1/4 inch of water. Okay. Let's see. I need a little more than that. Not much. What you're going to do, you're going to bring this to a boil. Believe it or not, you do not have to drown your vegetables in a lot of water. We got the veal cutlets, now we're working on the other part. And thank you for the heart. the flowers. Yeah, I see you're doing it. All right, I have that little bit here. I'm going to put this lid on. I'm going to turn this flame down, and I'm going to let it cook. And my aunt, now on a low flame, they're going to cook just as well. Now my aunt, when she did this, she would fill this thing up with water, then pour the water out and strain the greens, and then put it in a bowl, and then give it to us. And I used to go, oh, I don't like that. You know, that was me. Now, listen, I got to go get a frying pan because we're going to do the pasta next when I finish this. Now, remember, I'm cooking dinner because I'm packing. Now, if you pack lunches for your family, you're going to be making dinners and lunches and everything because they take it to work. I don't know what that means. Oh, believe you me, I could have heart attacks at some of the dishes I try. If you wish to be Facebook friends with me, you can. You can look my name up. You will find me right there. Why would I worry about that? I'm born and raised in America. I don't have to worry about that. I asked all of you, did anybody ever have pickled fennel? And nobody's answering me. No, I'm not Canadian, no. Now you can see the steam coming up from this. It's cooking, and though I have it on simmer, it's going to cook very nicely. I'll cook it just till it's done. I'll take a knife, stab into the stem, the thickest part of it, and spread the knife. And if it spreads the stem, then you know they're done. Very easy. And that's how I do it. And I have that lovely green color. AMT, you're Canadian? Very nice. It's cold up where you're at. I know it's cold where you're at. I work at it. I really do. Pickled fennel. Fennel. I'll get a jar and show you. I have to go climb up and get the fennel. It's on the top shelf. I'll be right back. Here it is, pickled fennel with orange. See? And so we're going to have this with it, though I've never had. That's right. So I don't know how it's going to taste, but why not? try it, you know? So I canned it. And my girlfriend, I gave her a jar, and she's going to tell me what it tastes like, too. So we're going to judge it. Very nice. All right, come on. I've got to get in here. They're done. That's it. And I didn't add any salt or anything. And you see how green it is? And then we'll sit there and let me turn you. I mean, you must be getting dizzy the way I'm turning you all over the place. Okay? There it is. And very little water, maybe a couple of tablespoons or 1 tablespoon. So there, and that little bit of liquid will go into my stock. I will put it in a jar and I will use it to cook with, okay? Why didn't you tell me not to turn the oven off? I just did it again. I am good. Guys are not being helpful now. You're supposed to tell me leave the burner on. I'm going back to that same burner again. Well, we'll light it again in a bit. So we'll put some salt on this. And I'll show you how I test them. Let's see if you can see this. All right. I don't know if it's going to work. All right. I take a stem, right? Let me get one out. I stab the stem, right? Just like this. And then I turn the knife like this. And if it spreads, I got it. Put a little bit of salt on it, and that's it. Let's see. So there's a lot of things that you can, you know, cook, and you don't need a ton of fluid and everything else. Oh, God, they're hot. This is more than enough for us to have. And you can see the green color. Now you picture the plate. You've got this on it, and you have the veal cutlets, and you get all that lovely color, which is exciting the taste bud. Okay, now we've got to get this pasta going. It's already cooked. I made it. It's just leftover pasta, but we're going to give it a different flavor and bring it up to a new dish. Okay. Let me get that little jar. I've got to taste this. I don't know what it tastes like, but just the... All right, when you have a jar that cannot open, you hit it along this edge right here, and it'll pop the suction 90% of the time. See? Isn't that nifty? All right, we're going to try this. I'm going to like that. I'm really going to like that. Okay, this is the pasta. It has linguine in it, and it has spaghetti. I used some whole wheat with semolina to make it, and it's got oil in it. So I do not have to add oil to it. I'm just going to be adding this to it, and we'll see how it comes out. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try. And you should have reminded me to leave this on. So I wouldn't be going through 3 matches. I would have gone through 1. You guys failed me. But anyway, this will be the last dish, so I don't have to worry. Now, a side note, if you get a cold and you're taking a cap full of apple cider vinegar and a cup of boiling water first thing for breakfast, you will find out that you will not be hungry for hours afterwards. So don't be surprised. You don't have to put any food or anything. And when you get hungry, then you eat, but you will go through a long time frame of not wanting to eat. Yes, I have my sourdough cultures I have to feed. I make a lot of sourdough bread. I've been now taking regular recipes and seeing if I can convert the bread into sourdough, and I'm getting really good at that. And I'm also trying to make my own yeast. I've already made my sourdough cultures. I made my incorn culture. And now I'm trying to make regular yeast. And this woman says, do this, 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 and this. And I'm working on that right now, so we'll find out soon enough. So I don't have to add any oil to this pot because these are greased. See, even my bag shows you see the oil. So you know there's oil in there already. All right. And this is a lot of pasta, but like I said, this is leftover that we're doing. So one pasta is semolina, the other one's a light whole wheat pasta, but we'll make it work. I always make it work. Okay, we're going to need this flame up. So I want to get this oil and this hot, and then we're going to have the other thing stirred around, put it in a bowl, and that's it. We're done. So here, turn this, because I do not want to get hurt. And I need a spoon to get that out. Now, am I going to put cheese on the pasta with this black truffle cream? I have no idea. I don't know yet, so this is going to be a hit and miss. New York. Oh, who doesn't like pasta? But I do make sourdough. If you go through the videos, you'll find that I do. I also have showed you twice how to sit there and make your own sourdough culture. And for those of you that just are having trouble making it, I gave you an address where you could buy your sourdough culture. I was raised in Texas. Okay. My sons are sleeping right now, okay? They'll be up soon enough, and I'll have their dinner ready, packed, and ready to go. But I want this hot first. I don't want it to burn, so I'm going to be tossing it around. And then we'll put the stuff in it and see how it goes. I'm going to put cheese on it. I have no idea. But I usually just warm my pasta up. But when I saw this in the stove, I said, well, let me read it before I buy it, because if it has something in it you don't want, you're going to not pick it up. The biggest section they'll see me is in the dairy, to pick up milk and heavy cream and eggs and stuff, fruits and vegetables, in the meat department. That's where I spend a lot of my money. No, this is not zucchini pasta. A lot of people just have cereal, or men and women who are working. The children will have cereal, and they'll run out. The husband will run out. I doubt if he'll have time for breakfast, but if she makes breakfast, that would be amazing. My father would not go to work till he had time to read his paper, and he sat there and he had his breakfast, had his coffee, and he took his time. He didn't have to run out the door the way people do in New York City. I see them running out, and the vendors catch them and have instant food there for them, and they get it there. And I sit there and say, it doesn't work like that. I don't like going out doing that. I like to eat before I go out. We're going to find out how this works. Remember, I have never used this, so it was just, it sounded so good. We'll see how it mixes up with everything and the flavor. Let's see if it breaks down, and if it doesn't, well, I'll have to find something else for me. gotta break up. And by the way, for the person who says your sons aren't helping you, they can help me on Saturday. One on Saturday and the other one on Sunday. And they don't like live videos. They tell me point blank, no, we can do videos, but not live. I said, okay. And my other son says, no videos. I said, none? He said, not even live, Mommy. I said, okay, if you insist. Okay, now we're going to try it, see what it... That has a mild taste. If you like mushrooms and truffles, this is a nice way of doing it. Do look into this. I'm sure you'll... Rose, hi. I think you'll enjoy it. No. This is my channel. One says, this is your channel. I don't want to sit there and be seen on your channel. It's for you, Mommy. And the other one, he gets into the kitchen. He doesn't want anybody there. I mean, he's learning more complicated dishes, and he wants to get them down first. But the other one doesn't even want to be part of the videos, he says. But that's understandable. I can see his point. And that's how he feels. You know, I'll respect him in that, okay? One lenser, we made veal cutlets, turnip greens. Yeah, turnip. And we've got leftover pasta, and we put in the pasta a black truffle cream, you know, to see how it comes out. Now we're going to put this in a bowl. And I have dinner ready to pack. And I will put some cheese over pasta, which will be nice. So you can think of all the colors that we've got. We've got the brown, and we have this, and we're going to have the cheese with it and the greenery. And I'm going to open this and see what this tastes like. Since we're going to have pickled fennel with this, I might as well put it in a bowl. And I'll try a piece. You know, Sandra, you're running out of bowls left and right. Yeah, I know. Okay, we'll put them in one of these. Let's see, where can I put you? Okay. We'll put you back here again. So, we're going to try this. And the only reason I put these on, I wash these, I wash the jars after I can them, and I have so many of these laying around, I figured, all right, after I clean the jar and everything, I'm going to put the rims on them. So I don't have so much packed up. So we're going to try pickled fennel with orange. I don't think any of you have had it because nobody's saying anything. Yeah. No. Okay. Now, I've never had this, and it's a new thing. Oh, God, it smells. The smell of it is really nice, okay? So, since I've never had this, we might as well see how it's going to come out. And I'm going to use my fingers if you like it or not. That's nice. It has a little bite to it. You can taste the orange in it. from America. They're telling me you have to pay for the jams. I didn't know that that's money. I just thought, it was nothing much. These have a very unusual taste with the orange. Very unusual. I like them. So if you want to try, I'll be canning these. I'll do another batch of these in summertime to make sure I'm ready for winter. Thank you. They're Cuisinart and All Clad. Those are the pans that I use most of the time. Okay. Dinner is done. Packing time is all I have to worry about now. Okay, so listen, I'm going to let all of you go now because I have a mess to clean up and I have to pick up around the house and get my home up and running, okay? So listen, take care, and if you're sick, I don't want to hear that you're sick, but if you get sick and you have a cold and you want to clear it up, I know you might not like it, but apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon and a cup of hot water, you drink it twice, 3 times a day. You will find that your cold shortens, and within 5 days it starts breaking. How long do you take it? You take it till you're sick of it. By then your body's so alkaline you can't get sick, because that's why you get sick, is because your body is acid. Sugars will cause it to be acid, as well as a lot of sweets, all right, that you have. Yeah, I know I have, but you can balance it according to other things as well as you work. Okay, so listen, all of you take care. Have a great day, and don't get sick. I did, and it took me 6 weeks before everybody got me sick. Okay, bye bye.